Alex had spent his entire life in the small neighborhood where he grew up. A quiet, familiar place where nothing was ever too busy or too surprising. Each day of his life was a near-perfect copy of the one before it. At 6 o'clock in the morning, the alarm would ring. By 6:30, Alex was out the door. He'd walk down the same tree-lined street, stop by the same cafe for his usual latte, and arrive at the office at precisely 7:45. On the surface, everything was fine. No one judged Alex. He was a hard worker, always on time, polite, and dependable. But behind the tidy appearance and the gentle smile, he carried a question no one else could see. Am I living, or am I just existing? Alex never dared to do anything differently. He didn't dare dream big. He didn't change careers. He didn't travel far. He didn't even dare to talk to the girl he quietly admired at work, not even a simple hello. Safety made him feel stable, but that very same stability had locked him in place. One day, the weight of it all felt heavier than usual. Work had piled up, his boss was stressed, and his coworkers were irritable. Alex left the office with heavy shoulders, feeling the world pressing down on him. As he often did when his mind felt crowded, he walked into the nearby park. And that was when he saw him, the old man he would later call the first teacher of his life. The man had snow-white hair and a gentle face. He sat quietly on a bench, holding a small bag of crumbs, feeding the birds. Dozens of pigeons fluttered around him, landing at his feet without a hint of fear. The man smiled at them as if they were lifelong friends, completely at peace, untouched by the chaos of the world. Alex stopped and watched for a moment, then slowly approached. The old man turned to him, his eyes filled with a surprising amount of understanding. You look like someone carrying the whole world on your shoulders. Alex let out a laugh of surprise. Yeah, I guess I do. The old man asked softly, What are you afraid of? Alex hesitated. He'd never told anyone this before. But something about the man's presence made him feel safe enough to be honest. He let out a long, slow exhale. I'm afraid of change. Afraid of choosing wrong. Afraid I'm not good enough. Afraid that if I even start, I'll just fail. The old man nodded, as if he had heard those words 1,000 times before from 1,000 different people. You know, he said, his voice calm and steady, many years ago, I lived exactly the way you do now. Safe job, predictable days, repeating the same loop over and over. I thought that was enough. He paused, watching the birds peck at the crumbs. Until one day, I realized I had lived most of my life without truly living at all. Alex fell silent. The sentence hit him harder than he expected. It was the exact thought that haunted him every night. What did you do? He asked quietly. The man's eyes softened. I started with one small step. Something I feared, but knew deep down I needed to do. He looked deeply into Alex's eyes. And I learned this. The smallest step is often the most important one. Alex looked down at his own feet, as if they were suddenly foreign to him. But what if I'm not ready? The old man smiled gently. No one is ever really ready. That's why it's called a leap of faith. You jump first, and you have to trust that your wings will appear when you need them. That night, Alex lay awake for hours. The old man's words echoed in his mind like a slow, persistent melody. He couldn't shake them. Life won't change until you do. He thought about his childhood dream of working in design. He thought about the online course he'd always wanted to join, but avoided because he feared wasting money, or worse, failing. He thought about the promotion at work he never dared to pursue. And he thought about the girl he admired, the one he had never spoken to. The next morning, Alex stood at his front door, his hands trembling slightly, but he had made up his mind. Something had shifted inside him. He took out his phone and, with a deep breath, sent his resume to the design company he had always admired from afar. Then, he went online and enrolled in his first design class. When he walked into the office, he saw her. Instead of looking away like he always did, he walked over, smiled, and finally said hello. They were small things, Tiny, almost insignificant actions, but for him, they were leaps of faith. Changes started coming from unexpected places. Over the next few weeks, Alex's life began to move. The design course kept him up late at night, but for the first time in years, he felt a spark of excitement. He was learning, creating, growing. Then, the design company replied they wanted to schedule an interview. And the girl from the office? She texted him first, a possibility he had never even allowed himself to imagine. Of course, not everything was perfect. He messed up some of his assignments. Some days he felt discouraged, wondering if he'd made a huge mistake. He even failed that first interview. It stung, but strangely, Alex wasn't disappointed. He felt proud. Because for the first time in his life, he had actually tried. He had faced his fear and taken a step, regardless of the outcome. The failure didn't stop him, it fueled him. He learned from his mistakes in the interview, refined his portfolio, and kept applying. He continued his classes with even more determination. His conversations with his coworker turned into coffee dates, and he discovered a connection he never thought possible. One beautiful afternoon, months later, Alex returned to the park. He wanted to find the old man and tell him everything. He wanted to thank him, to share how those small steps had started to reshape his entire world, even if the results weren't perfect yet. But the bench was empty. Alex felt a pang of disappointment. He looked around, hoping to spot him nearby, but the old man was nowhere to be seen. As he turned to leave, he noticed a small folded piece of paper left on the bench, held down by a smooth stone. His heart skipped a beat. He picked it up. The handwriting was shaky, but the words were clear. It said, "To the young man who carried the world, I hope you learn to fly. Peace, don't forget to feed the birds." Alex held the note tightly in his hand. He looked up at the bright, open sky, a feeling of deep gratitude washing over him. The old man was gone, but his lesson remained. From that day on, whenever fear tried to hold him still, whenever the voice of doubt whispered in his ear, Alex would remember that note. He would whisper to himself, "Take a step, even a small one." And those small steps, one after another, led him to places he once believed he would never reach. He didn't just exist anymore. He was finally truly living. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, remember that your own journey also begins with a single step. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that inspire. See you next time.